Hi, this is Alichi from the Coffee Cauldron, and today we will be talking about Strange Tales of Tang Dynasty again. But today we will look at it from the lens of power and also discussing it now that I've finished season three. Because when I did the first video, I was almost at the end, I was at the cusp of episode 35, 36, but now I have finished all 40 episodes. And I wanted to look at this episode from the lens of power, especially the people surrounding the powerful person. And in this show, the two top powerful people are the Grand Princess and Emperor Zhang. Emperor Zhang. They are the most powerful people. There's also the retired emperor because he too has his own power. But the two people that the other forces revolve around are the Grand Princess, and who is also Lulin Feng's mom, and also Empress Wu's daughter, and Emperor Xuan Zong, who is the retired emperor's son. So, looking at it from this lens, there's just something interesting at play when you look at the undercurrents of the people that are serving these people. So, the eunuch that's serving the king, and the Minister Shi, I think that's his name, that's serving the Grand Princess. And in a way, it feels like crabs in a barrel mentality, because the people working for these people, their advisors, so to say, are very paranoid. They don't want anybody to come in and take their place, and rightfully so. Like, it's their job. They're paranoid that someone else is going to come and take it. But what I find so interesting is how it makes them short-sighted. So at the end of the day, if Tang Dynasty doesn't exist, the Emperor and the Grand Princess will not exist for you to serve them. But in serving these people and also maintaining your own interests, it just makes the advice that you give to them so short-sighted and so limited in a way that it doesn't even protect what it's supposed to protect, which is what is keeping them there, which is the country, the Tang Dynasty, because that is what they're basically the custodians of that country. So just seeing the way the people around the person that is deemed powerful acts, and also the Grand Princess and the King, they don't seem oblivious to this. They know that these people are doing certain things, but because that competition keeps those people loyal to them and also keeps them bringing them good ideas, which are limited because those ideas are also filtered through the lens of is anybody gonna replace me, or this person has to win instead of the country has to win. And these people also go so far as to go to the extreme of rooting out the competition. So sometimes it's not enough to frame or sow little seeds in the minds of the emperor or Grand Princess. We see when there were separate murder plots on the lives of Su Wuming, who Sui considers competition because the Grand Princess goes to him for advice on certain things, and Su Wuming is really talented, and the Grand Princess wants to recruit him to her side. And also, Sui, we see a little bit of where his anger comes from. Yes, there is the competition thing, but we also, in the episodes of season 3, where they had that big nobles versus merchants issue, we see where his anger comes from. He is so angry that Su Wuming, the likes of Su Wuming, who is not a noble, he considers below him, it has the education, has the wherewithal to actually survive in these circles, because he considers it something like, oh, the nobles, oh, it's only the nobles that um are supposed to be here. So we see that yes, he is jealous. Yes, he doesn't want his position given to someone else, but he also has a certain disdain for someone he considers below him. It's almost like he doesn't feel like you should even be in the same room as him because he is a noble man or whatever. So we see that where he basically sent an assassin to go after Su Wuming in season 2. But we see part of the reason why, well, at least one of the reasons in season 3, where he wants education only for the nobles. He wants certain things that help the common person rise up in society. He wants that only for the nobles. So that's one of the reasons why he is acting the way he's acting. But we see when he sent assassins to go after Su Wuming. And then we also see that stupid eunuch. He gives very horrible advice. I don't think all his advice comes from, Your Majesty, you should grab this opportunity before the Grand Princess grabs it. Like, all his advice seems very survivalist and crabs in a barrel. Like, oh, really? You want to grab that ball? I'm going to drag you down here so that you can't grab it because I can't grab it. Like, those are the kinds of advice he gives to the king. And I don't know, I think the king also keeps him around because he's on his side, but he gives very stupid advice. But anyways, we see when he also sent a second assassin to go and off Lulin. And the two assassins came around the same time to off both Su Wuming and Lulin in season 2. So you just see how everything is like a scheme to like hoard the power and hoard the position and destroy the other person that you think is coming in to take your place. While you solidify your place at the side of whoever is powerful. And this doesn't just happen in historical dramas, it happens everywhere. Normal, regular, modern day people may not go as far as to off somebody, but they will go as far as sabotage and whatever. And there are things that you do when you feel threatened. So I'm not even sitting here and saying that it's a bad thing. Like, humans are competitive. Like, there are things you do. Maybe you work harder or you go and study more so that you crush that competition. We see it with big companies that buy up the competition and just turn them into companies that don't really do anything anymore. So it's a natural thing, but we see how it ends up crippling. And also it helps the people that are in power to keep those people competing so that they can bring them the best ideas. They can stay loyal. They can, see you as the end all be all of whatever. But the downside of that is that a lot of those people, they have feelings. They are human beings. They filter their ideas through, okay, since I'm helping you, I'm working for you, I also have to filter my ideas so it helps me and it works for me as well. So there is that. It's almost like a double-edged sword. And I haven't read into deeply on what brought to the end of the Tang Dynasty, but I'm pretty sure rebellion was probably part of it. The rise of the eunuchs having too much power is also part of it. And there's probably a lot of other things that led to the downfall of the Tang Dynasty. But looking at things and just seeing the people around the main people making those decisions, you can start seeing how the main thing, which is the dynasty, can get pushed to the wayside if people are not careful. So something that happened around from episode 37 to episode 40 was just seeing how much Su Wuming and that Minister of Rights, that Minister Pei, they want to serve the country. They don't want to just pledge blind allegiance to the people the custodians of the country. They want to serve the actual dynasty. So you see how that unrestrained serving of the country, that unrestrained, not being restrained by, oh, your loyalty to this person, your loyalty to that person. It almost gave them a bird's eye view of certain things versus, that Swishy that's working for the Grand Princess and that eunuch that's working for the Grand Princess. And also the king, because sometimes you see how they are always like, oh, is the princess doing this? I'm going to do this. Is the princess doing this? You also see how you get so thankful that the king doesn't follow all the advice given to him, and he does this thing where he looks ahead sometimes. And the Grand Princess too, she does this thing where she looks ahead sometimes. And it's just so interesting how in this last episode, Lulin Fog, I don't know if he knew or not, was used as a pawn in many things. Like, the Grand Princess knew a little bit of the plot. I wanted that king out of the way so that she can become the ruler of the country. But the king said, no. He brought her son to join in the polo match. It's like, okay, now your son is part of this. And then when she realized that she was gonna die if she didn't do anything, then she did something. So, and also I like that the end of that strategic power move that the king pulled in that polo match, where he decided to, not hold the Khan of that other country accountable immediately and just smooth things over diplomatically. And because he could see that the people of that country that came as envoys were also in the other stand. So that was really good. And you can see that a lot of times the king and the Grand Princess are, how do I say it? They take that bird's eye view. But there are times when they get so into the politics and into the infighting and the I have to be above you, which again, it's a natural thing, that they forget that there are active enemies taking advantage of their infighting. And that is how a lot of empires fall and a lot of empires crumble. And instead of trying to make Su Wuming and that Minister of Rights come and serve under them and be like my person is in the Ministry of Rights, I feel like it would be prudent to leave those two alone and just leave them as wild cards. Because if you don't, then you risk having a place where, yes, they are loyal to you, but they are loyal to you through the lens of, what is this gonna get me? And that is not a place you want your country to be in. Anyways, let me know if you have watched Strange Tales of Tang Dynasty, and let me know what you think. And make sure you watch my first video where I actually break down the different characters and what I thought about them. And happy drama watching. I can't wait for them to have the next season next year. I'm hoping, fingers crossed. I love you guys. Merry Christmas.